Hello. Well, I'm packing up this morning my backpack for another hike out in the Blue Mountain Birch Cove Wilderness area, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to respond to Wayne at Shunpyke Bushcraft regarding the Spoon Club. What an excellent idea, Wayne. Really, it is. I don't think there's anything that probably says bushcraft more than a hand-carved wooden spoon. So that's a hobby that I've been interested in practicing for quite a while. It's something I absolutely enjoy doing when I'm out camping, either on a day hike. If I have the opportunity, I'll take my carving spoons with me, or my carving knives with me. Or if I'm family camping with my wife and I, sitting around the campfire, especially during the rain when there's not a lot else to do, I'll sit and carve a wooden spoon. So I thought I'd share with you today the wooden spoons that I have left in my collection. I've given a few away, and that's probably one of the nicer things you can do with handmade items, is give them to friends and share what you have, and I think that's probably one of the best gifts as it comes from the heart. So I'll share with you what I have today, and I'll hold up one specific spoon at the end, which will be my entry into the Spoon Club. So stay with me. Okay, so I'll pan over the spoons that I have left in my collection. These are not assembled in necessarily any order, although I think I have a couple of the bigger ones to start with, but these are all carved from various woods, mostly birch, some maple. There is some ash in there. There is some elm in there. And there's even some apple tree in there. Apple tree is probably my least favorite to carve, although I do love the end product, mostly because it's quite a difficult wood to carve. Well, I'm in some shadow I can see, but hopefully the camera's adapting and picking up all the spoons. Well, each of these spoons means something to me because I was at a different location or at a different point or with different people when I carved them. But there's probably no more joy than sitting around and carving a wooden spoon for yourself. But I do have a couple of spoons that I want to draw attention to, so I'll do that now. Okay, so the first spoon I want to draw your attention to is one that's very unique, and that's probably why I'm showing you each of these spoons. And this one, kind of cool. Just an idea that popped into my head one day. It's a small spoon, and it's designed to be worn around the neck as a neck spoon, or I suppose as a pendant. In and of itself, that's kind of different looking. But I came up with a little tagline to go with this, that you should always have a spoon with you because you never know when a meal is going to break out. So kind of different, unique, still very functional, and I have used it, mostly for stirring my coffee and the like, but it does work. So that's one. Another spoon that I would like to show you, you may have seen in my last video where I was at the Ash Lake in the Blue Mountain Birch Cove Wilderness area. It's a small wooden spoon, and it's probably a middle-of-the-road spoon in terms of size. A little different, and one I carry with me often, mostly because of its size and its functionality. When I was carving it, a piece of heartwood came through, or actually it was probably a knot, and you can see it now looks a bit like a spade, but when it started carving, it looked more like a heart. And that inspired me to carve the top of the spoon so it also looked like a little bit of a heart. And that also provided an opportunity to tie a small lanyard around it. So a nice functional little spoon, something I carry with me, mostly because of the shape and size, again, but not the favorite one, not the one I'm offering for my entry into the Spoon Club. Another unique spoon, very different, carved from apple. Boy, what a challenge this gave me. It didn't start off this way, I can tell you, but it was a bit of a crooked branch. The story behind it is I have an apple tree, an very old apple tree on my driveway here, and a branch was threatening to come down over the driveway, so I took that branch down. And being a spoon carver, anyone who's carved spoons knows, you look at a piece of wood and you think to yourself, how many spoons can I get out of that? Well, this is one that I got out of it. It was a narrow piece of wood. It had quite a knot coming through it, and I thought, you know, a little different. It is functional, however, it is a little awkward. It's primarily a right-hand spoon, but also not my entry into the Spoon Club. I have yet another. Very simple little spoon. The very first spoon I ever carved. It is made from cedar. Actually, it was a piece of cedar kindling that I had at a campground, Shunpyke National Park in New Brunswick. And it was raining, and I picked up this piece of kindling, and I decided to carve a spoon out of it. So it's been with me the longest. It is functional, but it is, boy, I'll tell you, does this ever soak up the oils as cedar wood. It has maintained its shape and it has been used, but you can see it's a bit of a deep bowl for a soup spoon. It does work well as a stirring spoon, but today it rests in my collection as a special place, something from my history, my very first spoon, so I probably want to keep that one separate. Again, not the one that I'm entering into the Spoon Club with. So my entry into the Spoon Club is this one, Wayne. Now the story behind this: Nova Scotia Bushcraft Gathering, 2016, Dollar Lake, just outside of Halifax. You were there, I was there, a lot of us were there, and that'll be a memory we'll all carry with us. Well, one morning at breakfast, I was just preparing some breakfast, and I found a piece of freshly cut birch. Unfortunate, somebody had cut a fresh small piece of birch out of the campground thinking they could burn it. It shows their lack of experience. Rather than let it sit in the ground and go to waste, I did cut off a foot-long section of it and took my Hultafors classic trekking axe and my XXX Forester 2 knife and carved this. Now, I hadn't taken my spoon knife with me to the gathering, which, shame on me, I probably should have. But Andrew Long, who also did a spoon carving demonstration at the Bushcraft Gathering, did loan me his spoon, and I was able to carve out the bowl and then finish it off a little bit. I used some scrapers, the back of my knife, and I did finally finish it off with a little bit of sandpaper. And it is finished in flaxseed oil. It's another oil that you can use, relatively new to the scene. It is something that's been promoted as very healthy because of its omega-3s. And in fact, it's those omega-3s that are in the oil that make it good for spoons because, one, it is food safe, and two, it won't go rancid, and three, it polymerizes. In other words, it hardens over time. So it'll soak into the wood nicely, it colors it. This is birch, so it's very light wood. This will darken over time, but it does make it very functional as well as it hardens into the wood. So Wayne, this is my entry into the Spoon Club. I hope this is sufficient, and I look forward to more people joining the Spoon Club because, once again, I don't think there's anything that represents a bushcrafter more than a hand-carved spoon, preferably one they made themselves or one received as a gift. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, I intend on putting more videos up on YouTube, so please share, like, and subscribe. Please leave any comments you have below. I look forward to those as well, and I'll see you in the woods.